When you hear the Commander's theme song on the Flex Zone podcast, that's right, it's the off-season Commanders fans. But we don't stop the content. It's the Flex Zone podcast, only place giving you your Commanders coverage, sports coverage, and NFL free agency coverage each and every day right here on YouTube. Thank you guys again for joining me on this breaking news video for your Washington Commanders. And you're up to the second NFL free agency news, rumors, and notes. We got breaking news this morning, maybe not as earth shattering as many would think. It was kind of expected. It seems like the new norm for these NFL players, these NFL agents, the franchises are allowing them to seek trades. Now, this doesn't mean, oh, they're going to go get traded. They're doing it with Matthew Stafford. This is used to gauge the value of said player. I still think it includes that he's going to get traded, but we'll see how it plays out. Jonathan Allen. It was reported this morning Commanders have granted defensive tackle Jonathan Allen from the University of Alabama, Roll Tide, permission to seek a trade, according to multiple reports, signaling an end to the 8-year relationship. Obviously, Adam Peters, Jonathan Harris, Magic Johnson, Bob Myers, the brass in the Commanders front office. They're not stupid. They're not goofy. They know how to run a football organization in the right way. So they know they were going to probably cut bait with him and save money because he is a two-time Pro Bowler, but his cap hit $22.3 million. Washington would save $16.3 million in cap space, whether he's traded or released before June 1st. So either one will probably happen before then. Seattle had inquired about Jonathan Allen before the 2023 trade deadline, according to multiple sources. But with new coaching staff, former Baltimore Ravens defensive coordinator Mike McDonald, it's uncertain if that will still be the case. Jonathan Allen has a base salary of $15.5 million. But none of it is guaranteed. Allen, who is only 30 years old, missed 9 games this season with a left pec tear. We thought it was going to be season ending, but he came back and he did have surgery. And during the surgery, they actually discovered that it was not as severe as followed, which allowed him to come back later in the season. He played in the final 2 regular season games as well as the 3 postseason contests. Still great to hear that the Washington Commanders got to play in 3 postseason games this season. He had 3 sacks, 3 tackles for a loss, 7 quarterback hits, and in 8 seasons with Washington, he has recorded 42 sacks and 108 starts. He was, the previous 6 years, he only missed 3 games. So injuries have not been something he's dealt with a lot. But as players get older, more wear and tear on the body, you play in the trenches, one of the hardest places to play in sports. Those types of things are going to happen as I play in the trenches and drop my phone in the middle of this video. But nevertheless, Allen, who was the 17th pick in 2017 out of Alabama, actually is a DMV native. He played high school football in Ashburn, Virginia, where the Commanders, ironically enough, trained. Now, with that, we hear, oh, well, if we cut him or trade him before June 1st or after June 1st, we'll save X amount of dollars. Teams aren't going to trade for this brother because why trade him when I know you're going to cut him anyway? You're going to get $16 million of cap space. You're already one of the 5 more affluent cap space situation teams. Commanders, the Patriots. I know the Bengals have a lot of cap money. There are teams with a lot of cap money. So this is only going to help the rich get richer. And obviously the Commanders are going to be, I think, movers and shakers in free agency. Last year, they were movers and shakers, but they got the right type of guys. This year, I think we will obviously see more of the same. They want to get over that hump. They know what they have to do to defeat the Eagles. And it includes additions to offensively. Got to get a wide receiver. Got to get some offensive line, maybe another running back. And defensively, you got to get another corner. You got to get another pass rusher. You may have to get another defensive lineman or a linebacker to go with Luvu. How much longer does Bobby Wagner have? So a lot of these questions that go into the offseason, I'm sure Adam Peters and his team know about. But looking at Jonathan Allen's stats, let's look at it. He is only 30 years of age, as mentioned, but it seems like yesterday when he got drafted, my good brother and I talking about him coming to the Commanders was a good get. So 17, 18, 1 sack, 8 sacks. 2019, 6 sacks. 2020, 2 sacks. And 2021, his best season. Played in all 17 games, 9 sacks, and that was his high. After that, 2022, he did still have 7.5, dropped to 5.5 in 2023. This year, remember, he missed big portion of the season. He only had 3 sacks. He probably would have finished with around that 5 to 7 range, which it seems like he's good for. You got to win in the trenches. This draft is good for guys in the trenches, defensive linemen, edge rushers. There are a lot of depth pieces that are going to be not only in the first round, but rounds 2, 3, 4, where you really build your team, build your roster, and a good portion of your roster is made up of those middle round picks. Jonathan Allen will find a team. I think it will come down to the fact where they won't be able to trade him. If they do trade him, they'll get what? A 5th or a 6th round pick? It'll be a throw-in. But if he's cut before June 1st, which probably is going to happen, I think he will sign somewhere. Could he sign in Seattle? Could he sign with the Giants? Could he sign with the Eagles? Could he sign with the Cowboys? Every team in the NFL could use a Jonathan Allen if we're being realistic. Yeah, he's 30. Yeah, he's going into the downside of his career, but I think you still have at least 1 to 2 good years of production. And obviously no guaranteed money on the contract. He's probably looking at getting a shorter term deal. So we will see indeed how it plays out. But Jonathan Allen obviously doesn't get double-digit sacks, but he is really, really good against the run, really, really good at disrupting the pressure that you're able to cause up the middle and the interior of the pocket. Athletic as hell. Very, very, one of the leaders of this team. We can't not give this brother his flowers. This brother went through the trenches. He plays in the trenches, and he went through the trenches with this franchise when they were struggling all those years. Like I mentioned, 6'3", 300. A specimen. He can move, he can run, he can get inside, outside. He has twitch, can line up inside, outside, can rush from the outside or the inside. So having him and Deron Payne was a godsend. So obviously you can't pay everybody. It's all about choices, I like to say. The Commanders will be okay. Jonathan Allen will be okay. I think, hell, like I said, any team in the NFL could use him. Could the Cowboys use him? They have trouble stopping the run, getting pressure with the D-line. The Giants with Dexter Lawrence, maybe pair them together. The Eagles, I don't think they'll take them, but those are 2 teams right there in your own division I could think of. The Seahawks, they talked about them. They always like to get those hybrid type of guys with flexibility. Look at Leonard Williams. So those are just 3 teams in the NFC I'm thinking about. Maybe even a Detroit. Could Detroit use him? Put him next to Aiden Hutchinson. I'm just throwing names out there, throwing names of teams and franchises that I think it could possibly work for. But I do think Jonathan Allen is someone that still has at least 1 to 2 years left in the tank. And I think somebody that is still going to be a name that we look at. It may not be the most splashy free agent signing, but I want to see where he goes because these are the type of players which championship teams are built around. Games are won, lost in the trenches. We saw that in the Super Bowl. The team that blocks the best and tackles the best for 60 minutes will usually win. And we saw that with the Eagles this season, this postseason run. We've seen why the Commanders were able to get back to what they did so well. The front 7 of the Commanders may have even overachieved by some standards. Could they get better? Hell yes. Will they get better? I think they will. This could be a situation of addition by subtraction. He could go help someone else out. The Commanders free up more money, could sign a piece, draft a defensive lineman, draft a pass rusher. At 29, there are a lot of ways the Commanders could go. This is unfamiliar territory, but we're going to be here with you each step of the way on the Flex Zone podcast. If you're just joining us for the first time, you hear the song. Support what we do here. Leave a comment. What do you think about Jonathan Allen? What do you think about him being a former Commander, his time possibly coming to an end? We want to hear from you in the comment section, Commanders fans. What do you think about Jonathan Allen? Where does he go? Any comment helps us out tremendously. If you're new, make sure you salute us. Send us a nice subscribe. It costs you nothing. And make sure you hit that thumbs up. When you hit that thumbs up, it allows other Commanders fans who may not know about the channel, find out about our content, do pre-games, post-games, news throughout the year. We appreciate each one of you joining us here on the channel. Jonathan Allen, given permission to seek a trade. I think it will come down to a situation where he is inevitably cut. The Commanders get their money. Allen gets the opportunity to sign wherever he likes, probably for a shorter term deal, go to a contender, maybe an NFC East or NFC team. I mentioned a few teams. We want to hear from you in the comment section. Where does Jonathan Allen go? We got this breaking news for you on this Tuesday right here on the Flex Zone podcast. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next video.